Oi, you know what time it is? You're tuned in listening to Drive That Aussie Metal Guy. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his content when it drops. And remember, stay brutal, you mad dogs. Roof!
G'day, hey, how you all going? It's Drive That Aussie Metal Guy here with Crank.com and with that Metalstation.com. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that I'm getting to have a chat with Niclas Engelin, who should need no introduction, the man of many bands, extremely talented guitarist from In Flames, Ngaio, and a whole lot of other amazing acts, but more recently, The Halo Effect, which has just absolutely blown me away. Days of the Lost was one of my favourite albums for 2022, and you're about to hit New Zealand and Australia. So thank you very much, my friend, for joining me.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
No worries, man. No, I was very, very excited when this one came across my table. I did want to have a chat to you last year when this album dropped, but I was busy with a whole lot of other things. I've been going through cancer treatment, man, but this album has been one that I've kept coming back to. Can you tell me a little bit about how this kind of all began? Because I know,
this started out during the pandemic. And we got the idea and we got the question if we could just sit together and see if we could make some music. We met up, just talked about it a little bit. How we're gonna do this? Do we have the time for this? What kind of music should we play, or what shall we do generally? Because we can just hang out and drink beer and listen to Iron Maiden or Motorhead. That's cool. That's what we do. Form a band. All right. So I had to sit down and we can do this. Let's give it a try. What kind of music should we do? And then we were talked about Rush, progressive. Should we go Tom Petty? Should we go Motorhead? Or, it was throwing all kinds of stuff in the air. But we agreed upon just jam, just see what we can do together. So I went over to Peter and I heard he played me the first part of the intro that later would become Gateway's song. So play me that one, and I took the part, and then I went home and I made a song out of that. And then we did Days of the Lost song, and then also Shadow Minds. That was the three first songs that we ever did. And that kind of paved the way which way we should go musical wise. And it was like, let's stick to what we know and what we love. Just don't overthink stuff. So I think that the writing was like, don't overthink, just go with the flow and what we know and what we love to play. And later on that opened up, we just flooded of music. And we wrote so much music for the first album. And we haven't really stopped writing music as we speak right now. So it just opened it was like an open flood of music, which is still on to this day. So it's very, very, very happy place to be when we're thinking of writing music and be doing this again with these nice gentlemen.
Well, it would have felt like a very natural, free-flowing experience as well, being that you're all old friends. You've known each other for how many forever, and then having this band together and getting in the room and kind of creating music together again, you know what I mean? Old friends, new collaboration. It just would have been kind of a very cathartic, freeing experience, I suppose, as well. And the way you create music as well, you come in with the body of the music, but you all create and add your own part to it as well. No one's getting all antsy about going, no, don't change my track, keep it as it is. You're all working together to create these amazing tracks.
It has to be that way because we've known each other for so long and we know what we are capable of. And it's just one look, and then we know it's a flying thing or not. I mean, it's just it comes natural, and then it makes it more easier to create, to be in that environment, to be creative and make all this music. We don't tend to, as I said earlier, overthink stuff too much. If it's a good riff, it's a good skeleton of a song, let's work on it. Let's just go for it, because we know we're all good players and we know what we can do. So we don't interfere. I don't interfere with Michael or with his vocals or Jeppe or Peter or Daniel. We just leave each other alone. Yeah, that's actually a part of the magic. I can do a riffage, and then Jesper turns in and do some kind of a melody on top, and then Daniel fills in with his drums, and then Peter with his bass, and then it's Michael. Michael take this to the next level, and there you go. It's a Halo song.
Yeah, Jesper's like creates some of the best melodies known to mankind, hands down, as well. To hear that man play on this album, and then Michael's lyrics and delivery is unreal. I've always been a big fan of Dark Tranquility as well. So when I started getting this coming through, I was really, really excited about this project, as you guys were probably just as excited to get it out on the road and start playing live together again. Yeah,
totally. And then, I mean, playing live is another thing. That's where the magic happens for real. And that has been really, really fun. We had a lot of fun performing this music, because we can see all these happy faces in the audience. We just love it. It's just amazing time for us up there.
Yeah, well, it must be great to see the reaction of the fans and everybody getting into the Halo Effect, and just the positive reception that you've received. It's all great to put out the albums, but then to get on there on stage and kind of have that come back to you as well, because I know you played a whole stack of shows coming out of COVID as well.
Yeah. True. It's been just, I mean, I'm so happy to be part of this wonderful community and be able to do this. I mean, it's just amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and then heading over to Australia, you kick off New Zealand, I think, on the 11th as well. So with the Lagerstein Fest, and you've got Beyond the Black, who I did have a chat with Jennifer again the other night, and then Lagerstein out of Brisbane there, and Devilskin and yourselves kind of headline. And this is going to be an absolutely amazing show. You guys must be excited to kind of get over here to New Zealand and Australia, yeah?
Totally. I love Australia. We've been there a couple of times. I've never, ever been to New Zealand. Yeah, a layover in New Zealand for a couple of hours and then over to Australia. But apart from that, no, we are also looking forward to play in New Zealand and Australia again. It's just gonna be so much fun. And actually, it's summer at your place.
It is.
Wonderful. We love it.
Yes, you're coming at a good time as well, and you're rounding up to the Froth and Fury Festival in Adelaide as well, and that's going to be an absolute ripper with all of you on there. And you got Suicidal Tendencies and a whole absolute swag of amazing, great Aussie bands too.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be just great. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any Aussie bands that you've checked out have you had a chance to check out any of the Aussie bands that you're going to play with over here yet, or?
A little bit. Devilskin, really cool. And I love Carnival. It's really good. Butterfly Effect is going to be really fun to see on the Froth and Fury Fest. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be an absolutely amazing show. And what track, I do got to ask, because we're talking about the whole live thing at the moment, what track were you really excited and have been really enjoying playing live as well?
Wow, it's from night to night or time to time. It depends. I mean, a track such as Gateways are really fun to play, because it's a little bit a breather for us, since the music is quite intensive. So when that song kicks in and you see the reaction of the people, is really, really cool. And also the opening tracks are full of intensity. So I think there will be a lot of melodies, a lot of riffage, and in Gothenburg style.
Yeah, and I did like that you did kind of release that single too, that was, I think it was on the Japanese edition, was The Path of Fierce Resistance. That was a nice little kind of add on there as well, yeah? Tell us about that track.
That was a Japanese bonus track, which we released again during the spring. Let's see what happens live.
Yeah, I know. Also, too, like, because I know you've been so busy playing live, and you were mentioning that you're always kind of writing and making music. So what's the plan after this kind of touring schedule at the moment? Kind of kick back and start working on another album for the Halo Effect?
Yeah, we got another album coming out next year, and it's written, recorded, and done.
You're making me a happy man, dude.
yeah. And I'm gonna make you even happier. We're gonna continue writing and recording in December.
Awesome.
So we're gonna record even more tracks. So it's gonna be a busy next year with release of albums and shows, and a lot of extra stuff coming out.
Oh, that's absolutely unreal, because some of these tracks, even now, like I was just still hammering this album a year after, and then I'm coming back to all these different tracks. You know what it's like when you're listening to whole albums. You have one where you're like, man, I really love this. And then the next week you're like, oh, dude, I'm digging this one. Can I ask about the track, man, A Truth Worth Lying For? That was a really cool track, man.
Yeah, what can I say about that one? I'm really inspired by Rainbow, Richie Blackmore. Yeah, of course. So there's a little bit of Richie Blackmore when it comes to the intro of the song, a little bit like that, and it's quite upbeat, and it's got these melodies on the choruses, which is just a stamp from Gothenburg death metal kind of vibe to it, and I think it's a good little tune. Also some acoustic ending to it, which can be really, really cool, with a lot of sing-along live to that melody. That's what usually happens, and I'm hoping it's going to happen in New Zealand and Australia as well.
Exactly. As I can see by your absolutely amazing album collection, like you obviously love listening to albums, as I do too. So when I get a chance to listen to whole albums, and you kind of feel sometimes people forget what a joy it is to jump in and listen to whole albums from start to finish. I think sometimes with the streaming cycles and the way they run things at the moment, it's kind of a bit of a pain in the ass and a prick, but
It is. I mean, I'm from that generation where you bought the vinyl and go home with it, and you could touch, feel, smell, and you put it on, and you want to know where it's recorded, thank list, and what song, and reading the lyrics and all that. Yeah, nerdy stuff. But I just love it to this day.
Yeah, well, before Google, that was our Google, wasn't it? You rip out the record cover and you go out and check out the bands from there. They're thinking bands, and that's how you'd go on from there, not the suggestions you get these days.
Exactly. And then you had a conversation amongst your friends, and thinking about this one. No, that's bad. I like this one. And then you're starting to use your imagination, and then as I said, you read the liner notes and the thank you of bands, and then you read the magazines as well. And from there on, you just go for it from mouth to mouth kind of thing.
And then album art as well. That's always been a great thing. I always thought that went hand in hand with an album as well. It's ripping out the book, having the front cover, and then kind of going through and checking out the album art as well. I always thought that was a huge part of the album listening experience.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's part of it, and I think it should still be part of it, because, as I said earlier, I'm that generation. I'm stupid. I can't just listen to some songs on iTunes. Where is the album cover? I can't see it. It's just I need it to see it in front of me like this.
I know, and there's nothing better than getting out that fresh vinyl, the fresh CD as well. So I dare say that New Zealanders and Aussies better buy a whole shit ton of merch when you get down here as well. And I want to ask you, because I've listened to music for quite a while, and you've reached this point, and it's obviously the Halo Effect is something special. You could have just sat back and gone, wait for what you want to do, but old friends, new collaboration. What motivates and inspires you now? Because I dare say it is different than what inspired young Niclas Engelin beginning. What inspires you today as a musician?
Today is more I'm like a sponge. I have these antennas out all the time. I just listen to all kinds of music, but today is more, I'm more into soul, 60s, 70s soul kind of music. Great players, great vocalists, and great music. But I listen to all kinds of music. I'm really interested in music overall. I'm into new bands, finding out stuff, how they thought about this and how they were thinking. For instance, this Friday, I'm following this new band called Green Lung. They're from the UK. A great rock band, classic rock with a little bit of a satanic twist to it. They're releasing a new album on Friday, and I'm so looking forward to that one because they're such good music.
Yeah, Green Lung are unreal. They're on Nuclear Blast as well, aren't they? I've actually got if you've been hammering a few of their tracks on the show, bands like Green Lung, Lucifer, those bands that have that sound, and I'm glad they're getting really well received because it doesn't have to be heavy and in your face all the time. You can hear these bands and they just have such a great sound, and they're heavy in their own right and what they're doing. If you take it all in, it's unreal.
Totally stuff like that. I think it's funny, and I feel it sounds fresh to me. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's important to keep it fresh and keep on growing. So you will be here on the 11th in New Zealand, and you will be over down in the Froth and Fury Fest in Adelaide. Here we go. I've got the line up here. 11th to 11th, Auckland. We've got the Powerstation, then Christchurch on the 12th. 15th, we're in Brisbane and the Triffid. Sydney's the 16th, the Manning Bar. Adelaide is the Froth and Fury Fest. Everybody get along there. There's still a few tickets there if you're lucky. 19th is Melbourne, the Northcote Theatre. Everybody get along, buy all the tickets, sell everything out. Niclas, this has been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Do you have any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, mate?
Yeah, I can't wait to get over to New Zealand and Australia to meet all your happy faces again. And yes, play heavy metal for all you. Death metal from Gothenburg.
Awesome. Cheers, mate.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai That Aussie Metal Guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.